Yo, what's up everyone? Today we'll be checking out a new mod that was released quite recently about Kingdom Rush Alliance, which is called the All Towers mode, which allows us basically to have all the 15 towers in the game in the same time. So firstly, I'll just quickly show how the mod works, just so everyone is aware. Basically, we have this cute little icon here, which allows us, well, as you can see, to use all the 15 towers in the game. So it's really straightforward. We can like basically build the regular 5 towers, and if we do decide to use another one, well, we can just use this icon, and well, as you can see, we can very easily have all of the towers in the game during the same time, which can definitely be really interesting to experiment with, since we are usually limited to only 5 towers, as most of you are aware. One only small thing to note about this mode is that, well, since it's still in its beta version, we don't really have access to the Eldritch Channeler. I've basically tried all the towers, but it seems that the Eldritch Channeler is somehow bugged, like he will exist, but he will never shoot. So we are to some extent limited to only 14 towers, excluding one of the coolest ones, of course, but I mean, it should still be really interesting to see how it plays out. It's not to say that I usually use more than 5 towers, or at least I haven't found a use case, but you can definitely customize your strategy slightly more, as I've heard that a lot of people really want the old tower system back and feel like that limiting a player to only have 5 towers may be frustrating at times. So yeah, well, finally this has been solved by this mod, provided that, yeah, we won't be using one of the coolest towers in the game, which is, I guess, alright. So for the purpose of this stream, we will be playing one of the hardest levels in the game. We'll start with a warm-up with the Overseer and see how it goes from there. I plan also to check out the Mithria's boss fight, since I do think that the stage is possibly the best one, or it's one of the best ones. Like, there are definitely some cool stages in Alliance, but it can pose as a challenge and also as a showcase reason, I suppose. Also, I will be discussing with all of you guys any opinions regarding the towers, heroes, like how all of you feel about them, give my opinions on them, since I do have quite a lot of work to do for my tier lists, and well, for the time being, I guess we can just discuss. I would gladly get as many opinions as possible. It always helps out to see what others' point of view is. And yeah, well, I think that this is basically the whole introduction of the stream. So that's what we are gonna be doing in the next, I don't even know how much time, maybe around 1 or 2 hours. It depends on how tired I start to feel after a couple of levels. Since it is a little bit late for me currently, but that's not that big of an issue if I have to be honest. Also, I will be exclusively playing on Impossible, since the other difficulties are rather straightforward, and I want to test the towers, all of them to their fullest potential. I'll also be trying not to abuse any of the stronger heroes per se, like the dragons. Well, Annie is easily the third strongest hero, but I don't consider her like broken like the other two dragon heroes. So yeah, we'll try to keep things as simple as possible for the time being. Also, it seems that this guy, he rather carried this small wave of enemies. Also, I'm not like trying my best to beat this level, like I'm just using it as a warm-up since I haven't played the game today, just started, so if the gameplay is not perfect, well, you know why that's the case. And yeah, also, if you have any takes or opinions about the game, do let me know. I'll try to read as many of them as possible, since I am curious to see what do you guys think about the game so far. Um, what I see is that, yeah, the most common thing about the game is that it's a good game, like the whole aspect of it is great, but it feels rather short, which I can see as a big issue. But this will get changed with time, so it's not going to be like this forever. But yeah, for the time being, we'll just have to play around with the 16 stages we have in the game. Also, yeah, there is a motto already for Alliance, which is really surprising considering that they have been like already 3 days. I mean, some of the modders are definitely going crazy at the moment, but then again, this mod is only in its beta version. I don't really recommend for you guys to like download it and try out for yourself since, like for example, this guy, he doesn't work for whatever reason. We're still trying to figure it out. Also, most of the voice lines and sound effects don't work for the towers which are not part of the main fight like you see here. All these 5 towers, well, they work as intended, but it's when you get to use the other 10 that, well, things are not acting as they should be. Let's say that. Hello everyone, got you here. Might be a little bit late for some of you, especially if there are any Europeans in the chat. We'll try next time around to be a little bit on the earlier side. But I mean, this stream is just for showcasing purposes and just to chill, since I don't really have anything else to do currently. I want to take things back a little bit more on the casual side. No need to stress it out as much as I have been lately. Also, we might need a mage around this side. I guess the Stargazer should help. Also, not being able to use the channeler might prove to be an interesting thing for the other mages, since he is definitely one of the stronger ones in the game. I guess I could give the Stargazer some time to shine, since I think that it's one of the worst towers in the game currently. But I'll be glad to check out as many towers as possible. Also, it really feels strange seeing so many different towers at the same time. So there might be a whole other like meta strategy, and some towers might perform better than the rest. But who knows, who knows. We'll just experiment and see how it goes. Some of the iron stages have been difficult, yeah, especially stage 14's iron challenge. I remember when I first played it that it took me around, I don't know, maybe 3 to 4 hours trying to figure out the strategy on how to use the Grim Raids properly. And it turns out that you just had to place them on the backside instead of the front and just rely on Royal Archers, which was something I would never imagine would have worked, but yeah, I got some help from other fellow beta testers, and it definitely got way easier. Also, the heroic stages, I mean the heroic for stage 14 was probably the one where I heard that the Dune Sentinels are low-key, really underrated and have a really strong niche for themselves. Also, it seems that this battle should be ending like somewhere around now.
Fear the unknown.
I guess I could even probably just try to rush it since enemies won't have enough time to get to the exit. But yeah, for this stream, we will try every single tower in game, see what strategies we can come up with, and once again, we'll be mostly playing the harder stages in the game, at least which I consider them to be, like the ones that are in the third area, since the first one, well, let's say that they are relatively straightforward for the most part, and we'll be sticking exclusively to impossible, just to spice things up a fair bit. But the thing is that, well, this is your tower loadout. It may not seem like much, but it's when we get into the actual game that you see how we can use all the towers also. I don't know about heroes, like I'll mostly be sticking to these two fellas since they're one of my favorite heroes. Okay, so let's give this stage a shot. Also, one another interesting thing to note is that if we decide to play iron challenges, we are not restricted to only two towers, like we can use 13 of the 15, which definitely makes things easier. I guess we could check it out a little bit later.
I smell the sky's not my
Also,
limit.
I am actually rather irritated that I cannot use the Eldritch Channeler since it is bugged. It will be patched soon, TM. Don't know when exactly, so I guess I should be going for this one.
So shall it be.
And I've seen that this pairs really well with the Flame Spitter. And we'll also go for... I don't know, maybe Barrack seems like a good choice. I mean, we can basically do everything since all towers are at our disposal.
Let the void stares back.
Smites thy evil.
Okay, I think this should be a decent tower loadout to start with.
From the shadows.
I found 14 iron easier than 13. Well, I don't really remember stage 13 Siren challenge. Like, the only ones that I remember suffering was
No mercy.
stage 14 Heroic and Iron, and maybe stage 15 Heroic. Like, those two were definitely on the harder side.
Time for target practice.
Anya is underrated? Well, I don't really know if she's underrated, since I've seen most people saying that she's on the stronger side. I mean, she's basically the best duelist in the game. Like, there is no denying that. It's not even close. Like, you have all these tanky heroes like Torres, Warhead, which should, in theory, perform better than her.
Ting's might
But the
was
thing
not
is about Anya, you have like 4 different ways to revive her, which is kinda insane.
Say the word.
Like, you have the star upgrade, which when you use a Venerian hero spell, it instantly recovers the hit points of all your units and heroes that you've placed on the map. Then you have Dante, which can basically revive her, even if she dies. You also have her first hero ability, which basically full heals her if she's fighting a stronger enemy, which in most cases she is, since at least that's how you're supposed to utilize her. But for Therian, well, Therian is alright by himself. He has a really cool hero spell, which I personally really enjoy using.
Mercy.
But other than that, well, there is nothing really special going on for him.
Sky's
I
not
mean,
my
for her.
limit. The void stares back.
Just say the word.
I mean, also, the thing about this game is that fires are like one of the main things that you need to worry about, like the void blinkers and the vile spawners. And well, you have Anya, which basically counters both of these enemies, since you can just place her against the Valsholmer, she'll easily take him down on a 1v1 case. And Dante can really easily take out the blinkers also. Therian seems to die relatively easy if you don't keep an eye on her, which I'm not really doing the best thing at the moment.
Red moon's rising.
But yeah, I mean, these blinkers, they have 390 hit points on Impossible, and are definitely one of the things that you should be worried about.
Void stares back.
Also, I'm unnecessary exploiting Royal Archers way too much for my liking. So try to keep some sort of variety, like I'll try to give other towers a chance to shine. Also, yeah, the mod is made by KM5. Guys, literally crazy. Like making a mod for a game that's been out for like 3 days.
Don't fear the unknown.
Like I was expecting mods to come out, but not this quick. I mean, he's just built different.
Behold the unending. Foul magic.
I guess we can also try Ballista. I've seen a lot of comments saying that Ballista is better than Royal Archers, which I cannot personally understand why they think so. Like, for me, Royal Archers are definitely the better tower choice of the two,
Hunting is my business.
and it's mainly due to disability, which ignores enemy armor, apart from like the triple shot, which is a really powerful attack in itself. Like it can basically one-shot the blinkers, which is essential. Like you're mainly getting archers to deal with the blinkers, and they're the main thing that can cause you to lose lives. While the ballista, I mean, it has a good damage output, but at the same time I feel like that even Royal Archers outclass them in that department. I've seen also people saying that the Scrap Bomb is a good ability to have. Well, I might need to give it some more testing, but for the time being I don't really find it that particularly useful. And I'm really used to exploiting the Royal Archers, so I will be mostly sticking to them. Also, how many towers do we have currently? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, almost 6 towers. We definitely need to add in some other ones.
Rising.
Hello, hello, welcome everyone to the stream. Glad to see you here. Might be a little bit late for some of you, for which I apologize.
No mercy, swift and deadly.
I mean, yeah, I guess that Royal Archers do have that slow attack speed, but at the same time the DPS is definitely high. Like you have 28 to 40 damage per shot, which is definitely a lot considering that the fire rate is not that slow, like it's average. We have the Necromancer, which is slow and vastly overrated. I don't really see why this guy is considered by most people to be S tier. I personally fight him at most to be a B tier tower.
Dance with the dead.
It's mainly due to Death Rider, which I, yes, agree that it's one of the best tower skills in the game, but at the same time, is it really enough to consider him an S tier tower? Like we have Emissary, which basically supports our whole area around the start, and we also have like the homemade Rat of the Forest, also Pixies to heal our barracks. Like this combination here that we have, barracks and the emissary, it's a really solid one, since it will basically make your paladins invincible. Like you cannot take these guys down. Alliance is short without special campaigns. Yeah, for the time being, Alliance only has the main campaign. This should be fixed in October, when Ironhide will be releasing 3 new stages in the update. But yeah, for the time being, we only have the main campaign to work with, which is once again like the main reason why the game wasn't liked as much. I can see why. And also, yeah, waiting until October, that's like 2.5 months, might even be more, since we don't precisely know when in October.
The sky's not my limit.
I mean, yeah, maybe Necromancer is that overrated just because of the Necromancer in Frontiers, which is once again considered by most people to be the best tower in Frontiers, which once again I cannot really understand. The only thing that I could agree with is that they definitely have one of the best tower designs in all of the series. Like there is no denying that. But saying that it's even better than Battle Mecha, yeah, I cannot really get behind this. No, it will not be in September. It is yet to be decided. My guess is that it will be somewhere in December, like around the end of this year,
Father,
like just
I
before
understand.
the holidays start, so that people can have something to play with during the holidays. Since, as most of you are familiar, the player activity definitely increases a fair bit during these times. I mean, they haven't like said for certain that it will be even this year, so it might happen next year. Also, did you even see that? Like, we have this blinker taking 360 damage just from the geysers alone. I mean, geysers are definitely one of the reasons why I think that Flame Spitter is viable. I personally really enjoy going for that ability. Definitely helps out the tower. Yeah, Battlemaker Wasp missiles are definitely broken.
It's my business.
I don't really know what were they thinking when making that tower.
Swift and deadly.
But at the same time,
I smell
Frontiers is
foul
still one
magic.
of
Behold
the
the unending.
better balanced games, I would say. I guess at some point I should probably consider to
Sky's
make a
not
tier
my
list of
limit.
how balanced I think each game is. That sounds like a fun video idea, doesn't it?
No mercy.
Like, probably, if I were to rank Alliance, I would consider it to be on the better side when it comes to balancing.
Hunting
Like,
is
there
my
are still a lot of things
pastime.
that could be improved. By the very least, we have a lot of heroes that are viable, and only one hero which is like really, well,
I
he could
smell
use a
foul
lot of
magic.
buffs.
Behold
Let's
the
say that the word
unending.
is underpowered.
Cleanse the land.
Red moon
If
rise, not
you
my
don't know
limit.
which hero I'm talking about, well, it's Torres. It
Voice
should be
dost fear the unknown,
like
the unending.
glaringly obvious for those of you who have tried him out. I personally got him to level 10 and then just forgot that he existed. Overseer is bigger in Legends than in Alliance. Well,
Father,
the whole
I
stage is
trust.
basically him. Like there are tentacles all over the map. We also have tentacles in every single stage from
Hunting is my
12 to
business.
16. So even here we can see parts of him.
No mercy.
And once again, the whole stage is
I smell foul
basically
magic.
just an island made of him.
Red moon's rising.
Also, this synergy, I'm really huge fan of it. Can definitely deal with basically everything since you have the splitter, which basically deals true damage, so even the behemoths are not that big of a problem. We also have the damage amplifier with the Arborian Emissary. And for those of you who do not know, which I assume are most of you watching, the damage amplifier is 20, 30, 40, and 50% at tiers 1 to 4 respectively. So I guess that's a good thing to note. I mean, having a 50% damage increase is nothing really to underlook. If you remember, in Frontiers we have the Totem of Witness, which basically grants all towers a 30 or 40% damage increase. Like it debuffs all the enemies inside the totem's radius, which is definitely one of the main reasons why axe throwers are not the worst tower. I mean, yeah, it's not even a bad tower per se, but that's the thing that elevates it further. I once gets cool boss fights. Yeah, I mean, the first one is relatively straightforward. It can act as an introductory one, like there's nothing really special going on for him.
That's not my limit.
We have Gorgrind basically deleting most things in front of him, but at the same time, eh, I guess he could have been made harder because he's definitely one of the easiest bosses in the series. Also, I have no clue if I'm playing on impossible right now. This doesn't feel like impossible,
I smell foul magic. Red moon's
at
rising.
least for me. I'm used to this level being a lot harder,
Swift and
so I don't really know what has changed
Fear the unknown.
in that time. But yeah, okay, regardless, doesn't matter.
My business.
We're already nearing the boss. And well, I haven't really used that huge variety of towers. Like we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different towers currently on screen.
Behold
We could
the
definitely go for 10, 12, something like that. Yeah, maybe. I'll go for one arcane here. Seems like a good spot for it. To buff all my other towers.
no mercy.
Also, this ability, I don't know how I really feel about it. It's hard to start with it. Like, you need to have a proper setup to make it work. Otherwise, its power will not be felt that much, but the 40% damage increase is definitely a lot and only for 600. And you can basically get a Death Rider at tier 3 for the same price. Also, I still need to check some things out, like if the damage, which is 150, gets simplified by the emissary, so it deals 225 instead of 150. I still have no clue if that's the case. No, that is not a hack, that's just a mod which allows us to have all the towers on screen at the same time, apart from the Eldritch Channeler, which for some reason it's bugged and like we can place it, but he will not attack, so I will not be using him for this live stream. I hope that it gets patched soon enough. For you, the hardest is Umbra? Well, I guess Umbra is definitely one of the hardest bosses in the franchise. I've considered the Overseer to be possibly the hardest boss out of all of them, since I was struggling with him during my first couple of runs. Like, I didn't know what was the strategy to defeat him, and also you can definitely customize the battle as much as you like, since you can use the speedrun method, which I've shown in some of my videos, or you can go the slower route, because I currently have a video showcasing me how I beat him with just barracks, which I haven't uploaded yet, because I don't know, I feel like it could have been a little bit better improved, at least on the editing side. Also, we've gotten to the boss, let's see how it goes. Also, if you are talking about any like hacks, cheats, you will not find them here. I'm not really certain that people should be using them. At least I find them to be cringy.
Guide my steps. Don't fear the unknown. Behold the unending. Hunting is my business.
Also, this ability, it deals 280 to 420 damage, which might sound a lot,
Sky's not
but
my
it's usually difficult for him to hit the group that you want.
The void stares back. Don't fear the unknown.
Also, I've seen a lot of comments saying that
Behold the
Ballista's Final Nail might be one of the best abilities in the game just because of the stun. Like, I can see how it helps, at least in this scenario, but you have to invest 250 gold for it, so I don't know.
red moon's rising.
I'm torn apart on whether or not it's worth it. What I do know is that it's definitely falls off for the next 2 tiers. Like, you just get it for the stun and call it a day, that's about it.
Hunting
Well,
is my
I
business.
think Anya might be possible to solve him. I haven't tried it out yet, but he's a boss after all, so he does have that
Smell foul
high single
magic.
target damage. Like, I could see some way, shape, or form of you using Dante to revive her
You'll find
to make it happen, assuming that you also have the star upgrade 3
hunting is
maxed out, so you can like basically heal her up to max. Also, this boss, well, again, bosses in Alliance, well, they are not that hard to be honest. At least I don't see how someone could possibly lose to the final wave. Also, what level do you guys reckon we should check out? Stage 40 Iron Challenge or maybe the Heroic? Since these two are definitely one of the hardest ones. Am I gonna do a hero tier list? Yeah, I am, both for the towers and heroes. It's just that, well, technical issues have occurred during recent times, which have delayed both of the videos for now, but I'll get them done as soon as possible. What do I think is the best duo in the game? Like for the best hero duo?
Father, guide my steps.
Without the upgrades tree.
The void stares back.
Well, if we're talking about hero duo, it's definitely the two dragons, like it's by far the most overpowered one.
Time for target practice. In shadows.
But for me, at least my favorite, it's the one that I'm currently using,
Easy meat. We live and die at our post. Cleanse the land.
since I'm a huge fan of both Terian and Anya.
Smites thy Easy meat, boys. A fantastical spell.
Hunting
Okay,
is
I
my
haven't
business.
really played this level in a while, so I might have forgotten what is the best tower loadout,
Mercy.
and I will be mostly
Behold
experimenting
my
either
smell
way.
foul magic.
So yeah, good results, well, they may not be guaranteed.
We live and die at our post. Head uprise.
I know, this is probably the hardest level in the game, and it's by far one of the coolest ones.
Moon's rising.
Like, you constantly fighting the Glarings and them trying to get to the pool. That's like so funny.
Guide my steps.
Cleanse the land. Smites thy evil.
The void stares back. Hunting is my business.
Swift and deadly.
What do you think about the War of Alliance I would assume? The war is definitely solid. I mean, the ending is a little bit strange, underwhelming. Like, I don't know,
Fear the
how
unknown.
do you explain it?
Red moon's
Like, we
rising.
see Vesnan again with the Crystal Fellini, and it's basically starting the Kingdom Rush 1 saga all over again. Like, what even is this? We've come full circle.
Special delivery.
Also, we will be giving some spotlight to the worst tower in the game, which I easily think is the Tree Cannon. Like, we have almost 200, like it's 200 is just the time using a Wainerian hero, which decreases the cost by 5. But like, you have to invest so much in it to make it perform, I guess, at least to some extent,
I smell foul
that
magic.
it's definitely not worth it.
Smites thy evil. We live and die at our
But yeah, what's my thought about the overall order for once? I think it's okay. Could have been better. I expected another ending,
Sky's not my limit.
but I guess Vezi never changes. Like that was his plan all along. Also, this guy, I don't really see him doing a whole lot. At least the paladins are currently carrying this side.
Don't fear the
What do you think about the ballista? I think that it's vastly outclassed by the royal archers, which are universally the better tower for me.
No mercy.
Like I've seen a lot of people say that ballista is broken with the stun, and you have the scrap bomb, which happens so occasionally. Like you have a permanent slow on the field. Well, I don't really feel the same way.
Behold the
I could
unending.
see some of its use cases, but I think it's definitely overhyped. I mean, just because he's a goblin shooting arrows from his crossbow doesn't make him a good tower. Also, this wave seems to be a little bit on the more annoying side.
The sky's not my limit.
HEP giving Kanya 4 out of 10 is crazy disrespect? Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think I've seen some of his
Red moon
hero and tower reviews. I think that they're abysmal most of the times. I wouldn't really consider them when trying to... If like I would ever go to buy any hero or tower. Like I think his reviews are lackluster. They don't really give you a whole lot of information to work with. I think he also has a lot of more testing to do in order for his analysis to be decent, which he definitely seems to be lacking. For me, Demon Pit is nice, but it's not the worst. Well, Demon Pit is definitely not the worst tower. But the thing about this game is that, well, these guys, you have the Void Blinkers. They are one of the main reasons that you will be losing levels. Like right now, I'm a little bit worried that I may not have anything to stop them. At least my Arcane dealt with one of them, but the other one, I don't know, it still feels healthy. We might be in trouble.
stairs of
Okay, we did get saved by the teleport, but once again,
my business.
those things, they're the ones that will break your game. And artilleries, well, they don't have any means to deal with flank enemies, so therefore instantly go to the worst tower section. Yeah, I was definitely goated. Like, there is no denying that. Easily the third best hero for me. I mean, there's basically no enemy that can beat her in a 1v1 case scenario. Also, what is this? What is this? Like, how am I expected to deal with those stupid guys now? 1650 HP, huh? I mean, definitely feels balanced. Okay, we'll be saved by one of the teleports, and we also have this cute fella. Yeah, this stage, well, it's usually the final wave that gets you. This time, I couldn't prove worthy enough. What do I like most about Kingdom Rush and Frontiers? Well, the first game is definitely a good one, like you have a lot of things to explore in it,
I am unrivaled.
and a lot of post campaigns with varied enemies and so on. There's a lot of things to do in it. Frontiers might be lacking a little bit on the post campaign stages. Like it could use another update, I feel like. Uh, but yeah, that's basically about it. I mean, I'm a fan of both of games. I still consider Frontiers to be the best game so far. Alliance might beat it with enough updates, but we'll see. Good night, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, Frontiers definitely has one of the best campaigns. Like we have the Rising Tides and the Dark Moon, which are easily one of the best ones. Also, is it really a good idea to go for the Stargazer here? I don't really know. I'm just trying to make something happen out of nowhere. I will also try the Dune Sentinels, which were the tower that carried me the first time I beat this level.
Like the desert.
Okay, we'll
You
have
have my
Relen in this
permission to
spot to deal with the Blade Claw horrors. Should be like a good strategy. We'll also rely on the Arcane. Anya's ranged attack, I think, it deals around 50 to 75 damage. Yeah, something like that. 50 to 75. And it has a 2.5 second cooldown. Like it can basically one-shot most of the fires in the first couple of stages. Yeah, I also seen a lot of people discuss the first hero system, like where you have your heroes level up throughout the level.
Deadly, like the desert.
I could see why they think that, but me personally,
I am unrivaled.
I'm a bigger fan of the hero system that was implemented in Frontiers. I like not the grinding aspect, but
Hardly a match.
at least being able to choose how to customize your hero. What hero setup do I prefer? I don't really have a
You have my
personal favorite
permission
hero
to
setup.
decide.
In most cases, I would rather have two heroes that can target flank enemies, like right now. We have this cute fella, and my heroes cannot really do anything against him, which isn't the perfect case scenario that we are looking for also. What are these guys doing? Okay, I might be losing this level once again. The Dune Sentinels, they haven't proved to be that particularly great, at least in this spot. I mean, I might also need a better for this part. Also, can someone deal with a blinker, please? Like, it's not that hard. And yeah, I think that I lost this stage. Yep. Well, that turned out to be okay. Like, imagine if we could have used one hero two times. It would have been crazy. I've seen a lot of people think that Nairo is one of the best heroes, which I definitely agree with. Like he's definitely on the stronger side.
The void stands
And
back.
this duo in particular is one of my favorites. Also, I will be playing another stage. I maybe I'll go for the heroic on this one. I watched War Champion. I think he streamed the game today.
Sky's not
It
mine.
was really fun watching him suffer for the Overseer. He couldn't even get a 3-star on Veteran. Like, imagine if he tries it on Impossible. I think he'll definitely have a field day with that level. Also, once again, I'm playing the Heroic. I might have forgotten how it works exactly. I think that the Necro spam actually worked for this level.
Dead uprising.
So we will be trying it out. May not be the best spots for them. Like I'll go for one Grim Rates just in case. Yeah. Have I completed the Iron Challenge on the last stage? Like you mean the Overseer boss battle? I think that nobody has beaten it yet. Just because it doesn't exist. Like, it's interesting that the final level of the game doesn't have neither an Iron nor a Heroic challenge. Which actually makes sense, considering that, well, in the campaign, you beat the Overseer, so what's next? Like, you're going to fight the remaining enemies, and you have 4 of the 6 paths being just for him, so by defeating him, you're limiting the stage to only 2 paths, and I don't see that happening.
Guard the green. You're still not ripe.
Ah, you mean the last one? Yeah, I've actually beaten all of the Heroic and Iron challenges. The thing is that
The void
it's on my
stands
phone,
back.
like I'm currently playing from Steam, so it shows that I haven't beaten it yet. But I actually did. What it took was like 3 or 4 hours of experimenting, and after I learned the strategy, I basically could pull it off every single time. Also, so far, this heroic doesn't seem to be that bad, per se. Also, this might be a waste of money, but it is whatever. Also, the Death Rider definitely helping us out,
Behold the
clearing all the
unending.
glarings. You think that stage 14 Siren is the hardest challenge in the game? Yeah, I definitely agree with this point. Also, the heroic is definitely one of the most insane ones that you have in this game. I could even see some cases of saying that like stage 14 is the hardest in the game. Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. Can you share a bug that Kingdom Hearts Shaman has on your device for iOS? Well, you definitely can do that. You just have to join Ironhide's Discord server, and there should be a channel where it's dedicated to reporting bugs or asking them all
Listen
sorts
to
of
me.
questions.
The sky's not my limit.
So I mean, if you are in the Discord server, you can really easily report it there.
Guard the green.
If not, then I would recommend you to join.
Behold the unending.
Also, these blinkers, I think that they might be the only thing that would cause me to lose this level.
You're still not
Also,
right.
we are using the old towers mod, so why am I not using a bigger variety of towers is what I'm wondering.
So shall it be.
Reach for the stars.
Yeah, that's better. At least now I have how much? Five? Five different ones? I don't know. Currently busy observing these cute fellas.
The sky's not my limit.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I think that it might be my best short that I've done for Kingdom Rush. At least I consider it to be the best one. Also, some people say that it's definitely a cool edit. I know that I had a lot of fun making it. Like I heard this song in one other edit and I was like, okay. I see the lyrics. I also have the scenes envisioned in my head. I need to make it happen. Like it would be a missed opportunity not to make it. So yeah, really glad that you enjoyed it. Raising Rhinos really neat buff. Yeah, absolutely. For a mini boss, they definitely aren't particularly hard to deal with. Yeah, Ragin, also Anya, both of them can really easily solve him, or the other way around, which I personally enjoy the most. You can just get one arcane, get the insta kill, and well, you basically just one shot him, and you wouldn't have to worry about him anymore.
Sky's not
And also the cooldown isn't that big, to say the least. So by the time the second one shows up, well, it has already charged. For you, the hardest stage 15? Yeah, I could see why that's the case for you. I personally think that the hardest is 14. Some people would say that it's the Overseer boss battle. I could see any of these three options as valid. There's Torres Buck I found out. If you move him as he's building his minor tower ability, he gets insanely big movement speed and fill the builds. No, that's just part of his animation. Like, while he's building his tower, he's in his sort of animation for it. So that's why he has that huge movement speed spike, I guess. Or you're telling me that after he finishes his animation, he still has that insane speed boost? Well, in that case, it will definitely be cool to see some footage of it. Like to see finally Torres being able to move at least 2 tiles, you know? Okay, we completed this heroic, which was rather boring, to say the least. But anyways, the thing about this mode that I would like to show is that, okay, let me first change my heroes. Uh, okay, well, nobody has seen that, okay?
Hunting is my
Like,
business.
I'm not abusing dragons, you are. Shut. Also, I started at heroic. Okay, I didn't
Say something.
mean to do that. Okay. Well, I'm already sleeping. So yeah, I wanted to show the iron stage because you can see that we only have 2 towers to work with. But with this magical button, we can increase our towers to 12. So yeah, well, that's
Reach
really
for the
cool.
stars. Hunting is my business.
Bro, archers with max armor piercer gets around to like 20% HP on impossible. Yeah, but I mean, royal archers basically can handle every single enemy on their own, so what even? At least what I would like to see about the Raging Rhinos or, I don't know, maybe other enemies is for them to receive some damage buffs, like a mini boss like the Rhino. He shouldn't be able to be stopped by just placing your hero on top of him and calling it a day. That feels lame, boring, doesn't intensify strategy. Also, what is happening with these altars? Aren't they exploding way too earlier for my liking? I don't know. I thought that it was like every single 14, no, not 14, 11. Like every 11 shots, it bursts that ray of doom, or however you call it. You cancel the animation. Oh, you can cancel Torres animation while building his tower. Well, I haven't really tried that out. Will definitely see for myself, but if you're saying that this is for iOS, then I wouldn't be able to check it out personally. I mean, you could give the swag to Anya, but at the same time, should she really be that broken? Also, for whatever reason, at least for me, the Dark Ray Tower, this Beam of Doom, when it expires, it also, this is a signal that is about to explode. It goes way too far when compared to it mobile. At least for the Steam version, it definitely makes the Death Ray Tower way more overtuned than it should be. And the damage isn't low at all, like you have 140 to 260. And what is this? Why are they exploding at the same time? Make rhinos have armor or something? Well, I mean, they do have that armor on them, so it really doesn't make any sense why they shouldn't have armor, but at the same time, one of my favorite ways to deal with them is by using arcane, so you know, that doesn't really help the cause. What's your favorite mechanic in Alliance? Like our mechanic, hero mechanic, or like some sort of ability? Or enemy special ability? Like if we are talking about enemies, I don't know, maybe the husks seem to have a cool one. Like they're super annoying with them spawning those glarings when they die. Makes you think twice when dealing with them. Also, the Dark Ray Tower costing only 50 to repair after using it for numerous times is definitely a steal, like you should always be going for this thing. Yeah, okay. Well, if you could get footage for that bug, it would be nice to see.
Reach for the stars.
Also, I don't know why I'm going for the Elven Stargazer in particular. Like, that's just a random tower I decided to use and can deal with blinkers. Alright, by itself, so yeah. It's possible for Iron Soul Gorgon Veteran if you disable her abilities that isn't Vampiric Wall. Well, isn't like Vampiric Wall the sole reason why she is such a good duelist? Like if you get that ability out of her, well, you basically kill Tanya. Also water. What is this? Like, where is bro going? Like, you had one job, man. You had to shoot from the top side and look what you did. Also, why is this thing not repaired? You know, we failed this challenge even with Luminaire. Well, that's crazy. That's definitely crazy. Okay, okay, okay. I've seen enough. Yeah, I actually sometimes forget that this... Which is it? This one? No. Might have been... it's somewhere around here. Yeah, each Wainerian tower built increases the hero's health points. It's definitely useful, but the thing is that it actually doesn't increase the health regen. Like it just increases the overall health of the hero, which is strange for me. Also, I will be playing a little bit more casual level, just for fun, and so I can focus slightly more on the chat. What is the most annoying enemy in Alliance? I think that the answer is rather obvious. It's definitely the Void Blinkers, like these guys define the whole tower meta, and they make half of the towers unusable. Like for example, all the artilleries that you have in the game, like Demon Pit, Flame Spitter, not the Flame Spitter, but the 3 cannon. Those two definitely don't have a place in this game. Okay, I don't even know what is this tower layout, but I will be rocking with it. And for second place, Valve Spawners definitely. And for third, I would consider the Evolving Scourges a really noteworthy opponent. Like as soon as they reach the glaring of the Overseer, it's Joe over for you. Like you cannot deal 1650 damage to them on time, considering that they're also flying. So all your artilleries that you think are good, well, they won't do anything to stop them. So yeah, those three, Blinker, Spawners, Evolving Scourges, easily the most annoying enemies in the game. Also, it seems that relying on the Stargazer wasn't the best thing for this level, since we have a lot of those spiders which are magically resistant. But I don't know, I'm just experimenting out here. I mean, I've beaten all the heroics and irons, but I've just forgotten the enemy layout for most of them, apart from the noteworthy ones. Also, is it just me, or does the Dune Sentinels have small range? Like, they could use a buff to their range. I think it will definitely help them out. Also, Grimson, you could help out. Yeah, there's no need to leave Nairo to deal with everything.
I guard the green.
If you want, you can DM me on Discord. I reply to all my messages over there. So if you like to ask me anything or show me a bug or something, well, be sure to do it there. I have a link for my Discord in the description of this live stream. I guess that's the easiest way to find me. Like you can just join the Discord server and then send me a friend request. Or if you directly want to like DM me, you can just, you know, I sent my Discord tag in the chat. Thanks, man. Appreciate the support. Thanks for stopping by. Really appreciate you. Have a good night, man.
Listen to
We'll be seeing each other soon, TM.
Let's bring the heat.
Does Therian have a really low range for a mage hero? Well, I think that it's not just you. I've also noticed this. Like we have Anya, which can basically, if you place Anya in around this area, she would be able to reach the enemies all the way up here, which is definitely crazy. And if you place Therian here, she might be able to like hit the enemies that are around this part of the map. But yeah, she's definitely lacking the range when compared with Anya.
No mercy.
I'll check. If you sent, I'll definitely check it out. Which are the most underwhelming heroes? Taurus, Ragen, and Vesper. Well,
You're still not right.
personally, Taurus is easily the most underwhelming hero. Like, there is nothing going on for him. He's definitely a money waste. Like, to everyone who does decide to buy him, well, it's on you for making that bad of a choice. The other two heroes that I originally was not a fan of
Verdant is
were
my hue.
Warhead and Railing. Like, I didn't like either of the two. I told that they were like lackluster and nothing really special going on for him. I mean, at least for Railing,
Guard the
she has the same movement speed as Torres, so it's really difficult to utilize her in multi-lane maps like the one we are playing currently. Also, these guys, can like someone stop them? Thank you. Also, is it just me or Grimson dies way too easily? Even with his mutant form, I think it should trigger way earlier, but that's not the case for whatever reason. But yeah, once again, the three worst heroes in my opinion are Torres, Grimson, and I don't know, maybe I'll go with Warhead. I don't really like Warhead.
Verdant is my hue.
So yeah, these are the three ones. Also, once again, just to state my opinion, flyers, one of the main issues in the game. We have this wonderful tower doing absolutely, as you can see, nothing. We have a crystal golem in this side, which no one seems to address at the moment, which is also a good thing to see. And we also have this fella with the same health as an evolving Scourge. At least Nairo has a good flying
Listen
DPS,
to nature. I guard the green.
but at the same time 315. I don't know. It's sketchy, definitely sketchy. Well, the thing about Torres is that he should be used by only real chats. Like if you're a real chat, you will be using Torres. And if you're like a wussy like me, you'll be sticking to the dragons. I mean, at least I've also tried to beat the game without heroes, which wasn't that difficult on casual, still experimenting whether or not it's possible on veteran. Definitely impossible, unimpossible, as the name suggests.
Verdant is my listen to nature.
Yeah, I think I saw your comment and I fully agree. Like, at least the main thing that brings Grimson back is that he triggers his mutant form way too late. Like, by the time he enters it, he has already died, which shouldn't be the case. And also, those crystal golems, they only have 30 to 48 damage. Like, what is this? You can basically stall them out with anything. Also, Nairo cripples it to 8 to 12, which is funny.
I guard the green.
When and Lonely Dark Army would be a good content. Yeah, I'll definitely consider some thematic challenges, but I have other projects that I have to finish currently. At least for now, I have a hero tower tier list that I need to finish as soon as possible. I also have a
Verdant is my
game review
hue.
that I need to put out for those who are still wondering on whether or not it's worth to buy the game. At least I think that this is definitely good info for those who are unaware,
Let there be stars.
since I do have a lot of things that I would like to share with all of you about the game, but it definitely takes a lot of time and effort from my part, so it cannot really happen in a day or two. Like all of those three things, like the hero, tower, tier list, and the game review, I am expecting to finish them in around a week, but it's not guaranteed. Also, it seems that
Is my hue.
this heroic is over. So yeah. Do I think that your obsession with Annie is unhealthy? Well, definitely not. I'm also a little bit obsessed with her. At least she's definitely my second favorite hero after Therian. Some people might say that I might be obsessed with Therian, but just look at this edge design. Like, how can you not like her?
The void stares. Hunting is my business.
I'll check Discord after the stream. Don't really wanna interrupt it for the moment. Also, what should I play again? Like, we could give the Overseer one more attempt, use some other set of towers. I'm a fan of Therian. She is not one of the most powerful heroes,
Hunting is my
but she
business.
has the teleport and the great hero spell, which I'm personally a huge fan of. Okay, I might do something that I'll
Reach for the
probably
stars.
regret later, but I'll use the Elven Stargazer as my main DPS. Also one Dune Sentinel just for fun.
Like the desert.
Maybe an Emissary.
So
I don't
shall
know.
it be.
Even getting it to tier 4 it costs you next to nothing, so yeah. Also we will be getting the broken rates for this level, so yeah. And one Paladins for this side, just because we have a spawner to deal with early on.
No mercy.
I usually love mages and teleporting heroes. Yeah, me as well. If a hero has a teleport ability, it instantly becomes one of my favorites. I'm a huge sucker for teleport ability and great mobility, and that's like why also Anya is one of my favorite heroes, since she is really fast. I should use Arcane near the Overseer. I'm just experimenting,
Smell foul
having
magic.
fun. I'm not really trying to sweat a whole lot. We're just trying things around.
Behold the unending.
Yeah, and which is also the main reason why if a hero has a good mobility, instantly is one of my favorites, and why I also don't like using Torres or Unagro, even Relin, although I have grown to like Relin as of lately.
Don't fear.
Like, she's better than I originally thought she was, but still, they are not one of the funnest heroes to use. And I need to get that dopamine in, otherwise, well, why are we even here if we are not having fun, you know? Who even said that Tanya is not a good tank or a ranged hero? Like, that's just crazy allegations. I would also probably consider making a tower and hero abilities tier lists, because they are vastly different than the regular ones, and I do have a lot of things to say on some of them, so it should be just a cool idea. Also for this fight there are so many interesting gimmicks that are hidden, Or, well, they're straightforward, but the thing is that you have to have a keen eye to catch them. Also, is it just me, or is Therian's Rift's one of the most broken hero abilities in the game? Like it doesn't have the amount of damage and and can easily solve all the mindless husks.
Behold the unending. The sky's not my business.
What are you looking at?
Can the Overseer break the Last Shackle? No, he actually never breaks it. I've even went so far as to
Magic.
have him destroy all of my tower spots, and he never seems to be able to break the final shackle, which is actually a little bit underwhelming. Like, it's not as overwhelming as these flying fellas, which are definitely causing me some anxieties at the moment, but once again, I'm not really trying to sweat. I also have a tier 4 demon pit all the way in the corner, even though I have a green red which can easily solve that issue, but you know who is even microing this game. I know that I'm not. Also, once again, like, I invested so much money in the Elven Stargazer that I was left with next to nothing.
Red moon's rising.
So I don't know how some people say that the Elven Stargazer is one of the best towers in the game. Like, that just makes absolutely no sense to me.
My business.
And it should be considered a federal crime. Yeah, absolutely agree with that. No Enias Gender around here. Nah, I am straight up banning everyone who hates on Anya. Like, that's just unfair.
I smell foul magic.
You think that the Geyser is the second worst tower in the game? That's an interesting take. I haven't seen anyone say that the Geyser is the worst tower. I've seen a lot of cases about the Tree Cannon or the Battle Brewmasters, or also maybe some saying that the Demon Pit might be the worst one. I also had one guy say that Paladins are actually worthless in this game, like when compared with their Kingdom Rush 1 variant. And like, that's such a stupid opinion. Like, how are you comparing the Kingdom Rush 1 variants with the Alliance one when the enemies are vastly different from both of these two games? Like, that just doesn't make any sense to me. Also, these fellas, once again, I hope they don't make me lose, which they actually already did, but like, it's whatever, we're just testing out the mode here, like, please. Don't hate on me for the gameplay, I'm not trying my hardest right now. Could I try Barracks plus Tanks plus Arborian Emissary? Yup, it's definitely one of the best synergies in the game. And one of the main reasons why I actually think that the Arborian Emissary is easily an S tier tower. Like, some people say that the Emissary might be the worst tower in the game. And the explanation behind it? Okay, it shoots 1-2 enemies, but look at the damage, it deals 18 to 34, like that's virtually nothing. How do you expect that tower to even perform well? Bro, like, do you even know what it does? Or what are its use cases? You definitely don't. So can you like please shut up? Thank you.
Not my limit.
Yeah, at AGB, I'm really not going to look into any of his reviews. I think it would cause me some mental illness or make me lose brain cells. Or, I don't know, maybe these fellows will be faster than him. Like, you know what? I had enough with this attempt. That was way too much for me. So, what we learned is that the Elven Stargazer, it just sucks. Okay, one more go at it. What towers should we utilize this time? Let's try the broken Necromancers, as some people suggest they are the best tower in the game, which I completely disagree with. But regardless, if they're so good, then simply spamming them should basically be the whole level.
Thing is my
I mean,
business.
I will be using some other towers, just to at least give them a chance to shine. But other than that, I will not be investing in anything other besides Necromancer.
Here we go. No mercy.
I think that, yeah, maybe Necromancer is the worst mage tower when it comes to the single target DPS, but he has the stupid Death Rider ability, which is the only thing saving him from being an F tier tower. Also, is it just me, or I personally really enjoy using tier 1 demon pits? Like, you get the same units and you only need to pay, how much was it again? 80 gold, which is virtually nothing, just to get some additional stores. Like, the storing power that they have is around the same, but yeah. Also, there's some exploits or glitches or bugs for this stage, which I will not be using with the Grim Raids, but basically having only one of them at this level is like broken. Like, you can do so many things with them, like even one. You don't even need a second one to perform all the tower switching. I mean, you also quite conveniently unlock the Grim Raids just for this battle, so it only makes sense that the stage was made around them. Also, the Overseer teleporting the Grim Raids is so funny. Bro thinks he did something.
We live and die at our post.
How about Dune Sentinels? They do worse damage. Well, Dune Sentinels definitely don't have a high single target, but if you think that artilleries suck, Dune Sentinels are probably one of the best artilleries in the game. Like, you don't need artilleries, just use a Dune Sentinel, it will perform way better. And why is that? Just because they can target flying enemies! Go figure. I personally really like using the Sentinels. And once again, they are the tower that I used to beat stage 14 Heroic, which was one of the challenges I found to be one of the hardest, so yeah, they're definitely a usable tower. Gazer would better if she spread her damage because she often switches targets right before she kills and as a result she barely gets any value from Rising Stars. Well, the thing about Rising Stars is that I personally don't find any use cases of it, like it's so RNG dependent that I'm not convinced even investing for the first year, and even then, if the ability triggers, the damage isn't a whole lot, if you get what I mean. The concept of the demon pit is fine, just hanging out of imps even if they aren't the best feels good to watch. Yeah, it definitely is, and spamming them is a viable strategy. At least for stage, what is it, 13? Yeah, stage 13. If you basically spam tier 1 demon pits, for the bottom side, they can stall all the enemies, and you have the death ray tower at the end, and it will vaporize all of the enemies that you managed to clump with the demon pits, with the insta kill of the death ray tower, like you know what I'm talking about. It's definitely a fun tower to use. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I can see why some people might consider it to be one of the stronger towers, which doesn't make any sense, but if we're talking about fun factor, they're definitely one of the cooler ones to use. Also, I think that maybe, a lot of people cannot differentiate fun and usability. Like, they just base their opinion on how fun they find a certain tower to be, which to me is just like, you're trying to convince me that Tower X is good just because you like playing with it. Well, that doesn't sound convincing to me. Like, you need to justify yourself, otherwise I'm not even going to bother reading your opinions.
I smell foul magic.
Also, is it just me or Necromancer is actually doing the solid work for this stage? Like, I'm only using... Also, what is this? Like, why do I have a tower buff and no tower placed? Ah? Okay, I might be blind. Who knows, who knows. But once again, just to repeat myself, it seems that Necromancer is alright. It seems to be covering all the enemies quite nicely. The tower got teleported, like, was it this one? I don't even know anymore. What I do know is that I might need someone to handle this stupid fella. Also, another Death Rider might be needed. Also, can someone please catch this guy? Okay, Anya, you go do the job. I mean, just look at this. We will place Anya here, and she will stall the Flash Behemoth indefinitely. And we will just forget that he ever existed. Also, is that really the right time for you to move my raids? Like, bro, I'm trying to handle this stupid guy. Therian buffing the oxygen. I mean, she definitely loves working overtime, buffing unnecessary tower spots. Also, look at this, Annie cannot even die, that's like crazy. As crazy as those lesser eyes sneaking by. Again, people saying artillery is such a good tower, look at it go. Bro, I am losing to the fuck. I mean to the ice. So yeah, they're not helping out a lot. Also, what is happening here? Like, can I get Therian's hero spell? What did you guys do? Oh, you mean this one? Okay, okay, got it. I mean, wouldn't it be fun if I, like, switched my Grim Raid spot at the same time that the Overseer destroys one tower spot and, like, we have a tower on a spot that is broken? Like, that would be so funny to see. You would like if our spawner ceased to exist. Yeah, same. I mean, if there is someone who likes them, well, he is definitely a masochist. Also, gaining an extra hero spell ability every 5 really came in clutch, at least for this part. I mean, I will be dealing with these spells, which is rather convenient, and also the eye just keeps healing them. Okay, I give up, I give up. Okay, just defeat the Overseer as fast as possible, no need to worry about these guys. Like, come on, you can make it happen, right? Right? Triple, please. I mean, that wasn't even close. Also, do you guys reckon you can beat the game with like 2 or 3 tower spots? It's definitely impossible without towers. I'm actually curious to know how far you can reach in the game without towers. I would assume that stage 6 might be a huge roadblock. Even if you have maxed out heroes, star upgrades and everything and you don't start from a fresh save. I don't know, feels like you cannot really beat this stage without towers. Since I don't see a way for you to deal with Gorgrand who has like 6000 hit points on casual, I don't know, I only know the impossible stats. So yeah. Okay, which stage should we try again? Okay, let's try stage 15's Heroic. A lot of people say that it's one of the hardest challenges in the game, so let's give it a go. You think that Therian's the worst hero for you? Well, that's kinda crazy take considering that Taurus exists in the game.
Let's bring the hit! Let's bring the hit! We live and die at our Here we go!
Also, please don't look at my layout. I'm just experimenting with some random things. It may or may not work.
Time for target practice.
Also, we will be using both the Ballista and the Royal Archer just to compare which one does better. Also, I really like using Grim Raids for this top side, especially since usually you don't have Blade Claw horrors to worry about, like you only have spawners and the noxious speeders coming from the top side, so max count Grim Raid can solo all of them. Quite easy get that. I think that stages 3 and 4 are possible without towers. I said to someone that if he can manage to send me a video or a screenshot of him beating stage 4 without towers, I would gladly make a community post about it, since that in itself I find to be quite a challenge. Also, some of you guys, if you haven't already, you should definitely try to play the game without heroes. Like, the whole game is vastly different. Also, I would recommend playing on casual. Like, there is no need to stress on normal, veteran, or impossible. Like, you're just causing yourself physical pain, or mental, or psychological. Like, every single pain in existence. And they're just unnecessary. But it's quite a different experience playing without heroes. It's like in Kingdom Hearts 1, where for the first 3 or 4 levels you don't have a singular hero and you only have the towers to work with. I mean, it's quite a cool challenge. I would possibly make a video of me beating the whole game without heroes, and I'm hoping that it will be at least on normal. I've tested on casual, definitely very easily doable. Still yet to find for normal and veteran. It should still be a cool challenge to check out. Also, I saw that there was one random guy making a video about how he beat the game with just barracks. I think that's not quite that special, considering that you can basically just abuse the... What were those guys? Rocket gunners? And spamming them can basically beat every single level on veteran. I don't even know what his difficulty was, but you can even beat the game on impossible with just rocket gunners. So like, I don't know, no, it's not that special, at least to me. Also, what is happening once again? We have those fellas, and how did this guy... Okay. If I could probably go for this stun on the ballista, it should help me to deal with this fella. Or alternatively, I could ask Anya for a little bit of assistance. Like, come on, someone please. 33 hit points, 25, 21. Oh, now that's just great now, isn't it? Okay, let's try something fun, shall we? We will use every single tower in our disposal, except the Trican. I'm not a fan of it, so we'll be skipping that one.
So shall it be.
Just leave them at tier 1 or 2, see how it goes. It may or may not go well, depends on the situation.
All guns blazing.
I mean, after all, we are checking the all towers mode, so we should be at least using as many towers as possible. Like, that seems like a good amount, doesn't it? Which heroes would be best for the challenge? You mean the tower guess challenge? If you're trying to beat the game without towers? I think that the 2 dragons should be by far your best shot. Like, it's not even close. They're universally the best combo. Maybe, if you somehow manage to get all the way to stage 6, you probably will need Anya to stall gore grind, otherwise your dragons cannot deal the necessary damage. Also, I don't know what's with the Ironhide. Like, if you use her for long enough, you will be very easily able to understand her power with the rifts. Like, her ability alone, the one where she summons the rifts, it deals like 400 damage alone, which is busted. Like, there can't be any hero abilities which deal as much damage as hers. Also, do I even have anything to deal with this cute fella? I don't think so. Personally, I thought that using rocket gunners was one of the best ways to deal with them. Like, you can employ one interesting technique that I like to use. Like, you can place them on the edge of the path and the blinker will only stun one of them. And it's a cool tech that I found out while playtesting. It's even funny saying that Torres is a store or a tank, considering that he hardly even manages to beat one of these fellows, the Gateway Horrors, and you have Anya basically terrorizing him.
Don't fear the unknown.
Also, can this Necro even deal with two of the abominations? I don't think so. And if we had Torres, like, do you see a world in which we could stop this abomination with Torres? I don't think so. Like, by the time he would have gotten to there, I would have lost long time ago. Also, please don't transform again, like, for the love of God, please. I think it's inevitable, though. Like, come on, man. Well, this attempt seems to be over. Also, in some cases, this blade claw horror just moves insanely fast, like right now. Like, what's wrong with it? I sometimes see it happening, and I still cannot realize why that's the case. Yeah, this try, let's say, attempt, it's over. How are you expected to deal with those guys? It will be like the previous attempt. Or maybe, there is still a chance? Maybe? Okay, maybe not. Okay, this random loadout didn't work. Let's try another one, just for fun. I mean, it's a shame that I cannot use the Eldritch Channeler, but it is what it is.
We live and die at our post. Cleanse the land.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes maybe leaving his tower building ability unupgraded may not be the worst thing in the world, since how much damage are you really getting from it? It's not a whole lot, if I have to be honest. And it's just like if you try to catch an enemy at the end and he starts building a tower, oh, it really gets frustrating.
From the shadows.
Every enemy is scared of Anya and they should be, yeah, definitely. Like, realistically, I think the only enemy that can beat Tanya on a 1v1 case is the Flash Golem. And even then, it's close, because he needs to rely on RNG to deal the current of his damage potential, otherwise Anya will be able to out-heal his damage. You love the game's difficulty spike. It was annoying with the whole flank enemy spam, but Anya did the job. Actually, I have quite a lot to say about the difficulty spike. I think that it's unreasonably high. Like, it doesn't make any sense. How starting from the first level in the third area, the game basically gets like 10 times harder. Like, that's not how difficulty spikes should be implemented. Also, Terian, can you please one rift? Like, it's needed here, please. Okay, she will not be contributing. Alright then, at least can someone deal with this fella? Okay, seems that the teleporter did the job.
The void stares back. Don't fear the unknown.
There is an achievement on the Demon's fight, I don't even know. The achievement is
Behold
that
the
you have
unending,
to
the
spam
sky's
the
not my
Veznan,
limit.
what is it?
It's
I
my
think the
business.
third
The
ability,
void
where he
stares
shoots
back.
the green plasma balls, which stun Midrias. You just have to prevent her from using her clones, and basically spamming that ability of Veznan can get you really easily the achievement. Fun fact, I actually think it was one of the last achievements that I got, and was like wondering for around 2 weeks how to get it. I was like, okay, bro, how do I stop Midris from creating walls? Like, should I use my hero spells throughout the level, like whenever she creates them, or like what?
Behold
And it
the
turns out you
unending.
just had to spam Vesnan's like ability where he shows the green plasma balls, and I was like, okay, well that's super intentional or intuitive.
The sky's not my limit.
Actually, I think that Mirage's Shadow Dodge is way better than Torres because Mirage does have the movement speed, unlike Torres, who is just a statue. Also, another fun fact: when you kill Torres, he basically turns into a stone statue, which is so fitting for him.
The void
Like,
stares
I don't know if
back.
that was intentional or not, but it's definitely funny. The glaring healing should be nerfed. I don't know, I think that it's fine as it is. Well, some people might say, even more, most people would say that it's overtuned, but I think that this is the main thing that makes the final area hard and unique and makes you strategize,
Don't fear the
which is a
unknown.
thing that you don't really see in the previous Kingdom Rush games. Like, for
Behold
example,
the
in
unending.
Origins, what is your strategy? Spamming Arcane Archers and Blade Singers? Well, that's great.
Mother, guide me
Unlike in this
space.
game, where you have to strategize about your tower placements, like for example, in this stage in particular, you need to focus your towers for the front side and to not allow the enemies to get to the glaring, otherwise these cute fellas will screw you over. Also, just look at this. That is purely Therian's Rifts. Look at this. Look at this. It was around, I don't even know, like 600 damage? Crazy. Just crazy. You think that blinkers need a nerf? Do you want to know another fun fact about the blinkers? They used to have 50 HP more during the beta test, and they decided to nerf them. Like, you are not even facing their final form in this game. Like, they
Sky's
used to
not
be
my
way
limit.
worse.
Stares back.
And nerfing them is like super reasonable, since they are still the most annoying enemy in the
Don't
game.
fear the unknown.
Also, isn't this behemoth getting rather far? 3000 HP? I don't know. I
Behold
mean, we
the
have Anya
unending
though.
magic. The
Wait.
sky's not
I
my
have
limit.
Anya. Right. Also, I don't need this tower anymore. Yeah, just look at this. Look at this. Can you do this with any other hero? I don't think so. Oh, case solved. Play Anya. She'll handle him nicely. Rhinos need a buff? Yeah, sure. Rhinos for mini boss, definitely underwhelming. Blinkers are way too fast. Actually, blinkers are 20% faster on impossible. If you're used to veteran, they should feel way slower when compared to looking at my gameplay. I also like the stun mechanic for blinkers, since getting a tier 1 barrack alone next to your archers can stall them for quite a long time. Okay, I will get into just a random level, just so I can focus a little bit more on the discussion, since I am falling a little bit behind. Some mindless Royal Archer spam should do the work. Yeah, it's actually crazy how one flying kite can define the whole meta of the game. I don't think that this is a thing seen across the other games, like it's exclusively for Alliance. You have the blinkers define the whole meta, which is just crazy to think about.
All guns blazing.
Also, well, not this spot. This here is one of my favorite spots for the Dune Sentinels in the game, because you have mainly spiders coming from this side, and Dune Sentinels specialize in taking them out, and you can basically just go for one barrack for the back, and yeah, case solved. Do you remember the bird skipping in the Ravage outskirts for the map? Thought it will be servers type of thing, but it was a poorly implemented executioner. Well, it's stage 5 after all, and Cerberus is a post-campaign hell enemy, so it makes sense that it shouldn't be that overpowered. I mean, some people might get caught off guard, since you have the two paths, and then out of the sudden you have that new path that you have to worry about. And he's in some cases tanky. I think he has like 1000 HP on Impossible and around 900 or 800 on Veteran. So you need to place a hero to stop him, otherwise, well, you will not be prepared, especially on your first playthrough. You will get caught off guard.
Deadly, like the desert.
Execution from Frontiers when he appeared at the end, the map cutting on the first. Yeah, Pirates Bay, the sixth stage in Frontiers is definitely one of the best ones in the game, or in the franchise as well. Like, Pirates Bay is such a well designed map, especially for so early on in the game. Definitely. I'll give it a lot of positive points. Also, is it just me, but those guys are actually annoying? In most cases, the priests, when they try to turn into abominations. I personally am not a big fan of them. Like, these witches, they summon the nightmares from time to time, but they are actually quite easy to deal with. People praise Origins way too much for the balance. Well, that's true for the heroes. The towers are horribly balanced. Yeah, absolutely. I think that Origins might be the most unbalanced game out of all of them. Like, it's basically Arcane Archer and Bladesinger spam, and you would never need any other tower. Like, just spamming those two can beat every single level, and like having 8 towers and just relying on 2 to beat the whole game, well, really limits your tower choices.
Swift and deadly.
Yeah, forest keepers are definitely overrated. Ah, you mean underrated? No. You're wrong here. I think that both the Barbarian Mytho and Forest Keepers are actually overrated. Like, I see a lot of people saying that, look, you have Forest Keepers dealing true damage with their spears. Definitely broken aspect for them. But, like, bro, you have Blade Singers, which when you max out the perfect parry, they basically cannot die. So what's even the point of using the Forest Keepers when you can just rely on Arcane Archers for the rest? Also, just this one time, I will try the Tree Cannon, since I am a little bit over leveled for this stage anyway, so let's give it a try. I mean, Forest Keepers are definitely the third best tower in Origins, but they're still outclassed by Blade Singers. At least that's my general opinion. I have nothing wrong about the Forest Keepers. I just personally think that the Arcane Spam and Blade Singer just outclasses them. Which is a shame, since if those two were nerfed, Forest Keepers would be way more prevalent. You get the achievement where you must kill 15 sisters before they summon. Well, the easiest way to get the achievement is if you are a free-to-play player, you can basically use Regin, place her
Behold the unending.
like at the beginning of the track, just wait for the sisters to show up. She will handle them nicely, or if you're pay to win like me, can just resort to Anya. She can solve every single enemy, and you just repeat that 15 times, and well, you have the achievement. So we have this guy. He was actually the same one in the original Kingdom Rush, like the Sarah Ogasis Lair. We also saw him there, and it was basically the same case. We helped him escape from a spider. So that's a cool reference if some of you are not familiar with.
Hunting is my business.
War Champion beats Tainted Pitchstone game 1 or 2 Force Keepers. Yeah, definitely a thing that I cannot do, or pull off, or envision myself doing. Since I don't have the time for that, I like to invest it in realistic things, and being stuck on a single challenge, well, that's not my cup of tea.
Behold the
I prefer doing some more interesting and engaging activities. But I guess that's why we have World Champion, to do all those sort of crazy challenges.
guide my steps.
You think that Blade Singer and Force Keepers are equally good? Well, they are. Both of them are good. And imagine if you combine both of them, like you have the Force Keepers with the spears, doing insane damage to the armored enemies. You have Blade Singers tanking for them, like if you, for example, place, like you have here the Blade Singers, like that's your Blade Singers, here you have your Force Keeper. Blade Singers will just tank for your Force Keeper while he shoots them from the back, and you also have the healing roots, I think is the ability. And you can recover your Blade Singers as hit points, not that like it matters, since they cannot die anyways. But yeah, just combine both of them, it's great. Yeah, I also like how the main reason about people thinking that Forest Keepers are better than Blade Singers is Shy Guy Masks' only barracks challenge for Origins. I would assume that almost everyone has saw it, and they're like, okay, if this guy showcases that he can beat the whole game with just Forest Keepers, then they're automatically better than Blade Singers, which is definitely not the case. But still, it's a good tower, I have nothing against it. I'm just nitpicking here. I mean, we are comparing both S tier towers, so what's even the matter? But Arcane, yeah, Arcane, you can just spam Arcane on every single stage, and the bot letting shots will carry you. Also, on the topic of Arcane, it's broken just because of the star upgrades that you have in Origins, and I would consider the bot letting shots to be one of the best in the whole franchise. Like you have spears in Kingdom Rush, you have smart targeting in Kingdom Rush, you have the, what is it, I mean, usually the Rain of Fire abilities are one of the best in the game. You have the stun for artilleries in Frontiers, which basically break battle mecha. Also, I've seen that a lot of people think that bombardment is one of the coolest things to see in the game, which I agree, like, look at it go. It's definitely a fun tower to use. The thing is that, well, this guy, who is going to handle this guy? So we have the Stargazer, so powerful, and also the Raw Archer actually carries, but no one notices it, because it doesn't have any special design or anything going on for him. But he's just broken on all aspects, don't underrate him, please. Also, no one saw this. Yeah, it has like 1 million views. Definitely I think that I'm jealous. I would really be happy if one of my videos gets a million views, which I don't really see happening. But the good thing is that Alliance definitely was well received, and a lot of people did buy the game, although I would assume that some of them also pirated it,
My steps.
which only shows them how they don't care about the franchise as a whole.
Behold the unending.
And I definitely like where Ironhide are heading for the moment. They're definitely on the right track. Like, if I were to compare Ironhide with their 2013 version, I'll definitely say that they upped their game a lot.
Nothing is my business.
Mages in Origins are so bad. Absolutely, there's so many magic resistant enemies in Origins that, well, they don't really have a lot of use cases. I mean, what is it called? Wild mages? Well, mages.
Behold the unending.
Some people pronounce it in different ways. It's one of the best towers to deal with the golems, the Twilight golems, since they ramp up their damage with each attack.
The voice.
Thinking that you have to have the mages target exclusively the Twilight golems, otherwise they'll lose their active attack, and well,
Don't fear.
at this point, again, just resort to Arcane Archer spam.
I smell foul magic.
No mercy.
The sky's not my limit.
Well, I will make a tier list, like a video, of me discussing every single game,
Stairs back.
giving my tier for it, and overall rating out of 10. I mean, that's a thing that a lot of people I saw would like to see. So do I. Because I am in fact curious, although I consider to be the best game. Given Alliance receives some fire updates,
Don't fear the unknown.
I think that it has quite a big potential to become the best Kingdom Rush game ever released. But we'll see. In October,
The unending.
we'll have the 3 new levels, you'll have Boneheart, the other new hero strategy, or what it's even called, like, it's translated to which in Italian, fun fact for those of you who don't know. Also, a lot of people like the longbows in Origins. Hell, guess what? We have the longbows returning in Alliance. More on that in October, of course.
Not my limit.
Just as a fun fact, because I would assume that some of you weren't aware by that. But yeah, overall, at least for now, I think that Origins is probably the worst game. Although, fun fact, since I haven't played the Kingdom Rush games in approximately 7 or 8 years, I used to play them like 12 years ago, then I stopped. And after I played Origins again, since I forgot basically everything about it, the campaign, like the main campaign, I basically beat it in one day, and I had a lot of fun. I think it definitely has the best, or rather one of the best main campaigns in the game. Definitely better than the one in Kingdom Rush and the one in Vengeance. Although, yeah, I think that the Vengeance final boss fight, like the Dean's Castle, super unique. Like, I cannot say anything negative about it apart from the difficulty. But still, the Origins main campaign, well, every single enemy has a gimmick, you know? Definitely makes you curious what to expect next.
Hunting is my business.
I was really disappointed that Alliance didn't brought back stars for Heroic and Irons. Well, they did take the whole aspect of Kingdom Rush Vengeance, you know, the whole upgrade tree, the whole tower system, the hero system. I mean, almost everything is the same as Vengeance, apart from the what is it again? The engine, yeah, the engine that they are using. Since in Vengeance, like for example, if I have my ability ready to go and I do this, like I upgrade it, now I have to wait for the whole duration of the cooldown to be rewarded again for the ability to get triggered, which is just super obnoxious. Like if they like find a way to fix it for the next DLC and roll out some more balance changes and bug fixes, like for example, the Deep Devil Reef's nets, when you throw them on an enemy, you cannot deal damage to that enemy. Like that's just stupid, and it shouldn't be intentional. I mean, I can go on and on. Like Vengeance has a lot of
Behold
else.
the unending.
I mean, yeah, would it been better to use the previous hero system, I mean tower system for this game and not resort to the one in Vengeance? I don't know. I feel like the only good thing about Vengeance was the hero, I mean the tower system. Being able to use 5, yeah, certainly limits your options from 8. But I mean, we currently have 2, 4, 6, 7. Okay, let's make it 8. Okay, we currently have 8 different towers on the field. So you can imagine if they used the old tower system. Like, are you satisfied with this? You have 8 towers to work with, and like, is that what you like to see? Or you're not a fan of the current tower system? At least me personally, I think that the current tower system is the way to go. It allows you to add new towers, which is a thing that you cannot really do in the previous games. So yeah, really curious to know what are your guys' opinions on that matter. Since once again, Vengeance might have a lot of else, but the tower system is one of the W's, so we have to give props when it's due. You think that once is the third for your rankings? Well, I think I have it around there, like either second or third. Definitely a cool game. I don't really saw a lot of hate towards it. Like the number one most common hate comment was that the campaign is too short, like you can speedrun the game and there is nothing to do afterwards. Which isn't really the case,
Behold the
and I will
unending.
show it in the following months, since I will be attempting various thematic challenges, since the game has a lot of potential for thematic challenges. Like the options, they're virtually unlimited. Like for example, uh, I assume that some of you have played or have heard about Boon's TD6, like BTD6. I mean, it's basically the most well-known TD game out there, so most of you should be familiar with it. And in this game, you have virtually unlimited choices
Hunting is
when
my
it comes to
business.
towers.
I smell
And
fine
the
magic.
thing about it is that you only have one singular wave of enemies to work with. Like there is no variety. The game is the same for it doesn't matter which level you go for. Like the only different thing is the map. That's it. The enemies are the same, apart from Alliance, where we have like 40, I think 40 different enemies
The
to work
void
with.
stares back.
And now we have 15 towers, 12 heroes. We can make so many combinations. They're all well above 100k combinations of towers and heroes that we can go for. So I think that it can finally compete with BTD6 when it comes to like thematic challenges and so on. Okay, enough rambling about that. But yeah, that's my opinion about the game. I think it has a really bright future.
Known.
And when it comes to challenges, there are definitely a lot of things that have to be tried out. And I think that that aspect is vastly overlooked by a lot of people, since they are, at the end of the day, casuals. They will not be resorting to making the game more difficult for them by just limiting them to only one tower or one hero, and so on and so forth. So your ranking is from Heroes, Kingrush, Alliance, Origins, and Vengeance. Okay, I'm satisfied with that ranking. I don't know. I cannot really put Vengeance
Behold the
as the worst
unending.
game. That's the game with the most levels, enemies, towers, everything. Like, if you want to have something
Sky's not my
different
limit.
or
The
interesting, you
voids
have it in Vengeance.
don't fear
Apart from the
unknown.
fact that more than half, if not all, of the stages are super boring, the pacing is terrible, yada yada. You guys are familiar with those sort of things. But then you have the Hammertold, which has 5 of the best stages in the series. Like all of them were at W stack, especially the Lost Empire. I think that this stage in particular is one of the hardest, and attempting challenges on it especially is really difficult.
I smell foul magic.
And yeah, you also have the broken heroes like Ice Cold, Murgnan, and even Jack with his bugged hero spell. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Makes the game really easy. But at the same time, like you are not like nobody's making you use the broken heroes. You can just use the free ones. Like for example, Astra. Astra can do the trick as well. Such a fun hero actually. Astra may be one of my favorites in the franchise as well. Like, if a hero has a teleport mechanic, well, it's already one of the better ones. Also, what are the thoughts about this fight? I've seen a lot of hate towards it, just because we have also for the achievement, like you can just spam disability of Vesnan. Also, I'm actually curious,
Behold the
can Anya stall Venus forever? It doesn't seem to be the case. Or maybe it does. Like, I don't even know how she revived. Okay, let's just revive her again.
hunting is my business.
But yeah, you just spam this ability, and like Midrias will never get the chance to cast one of her illusions. Yeah, the mod is very good. It allows us to use every single tower, which is definitely cool to try out. Like, we have, how many? 8 different towers on the field right now? It's like playing one of the games from the trilogy. Definitely gives you that thing. Also, why is Dinas like stopping so often? And when he tries to continue, we just trap him in the cage and well, GG for him. Yeah, vengeance is definitely quantity over quality. I can completely agree with that statement.
Hunting is my business.
Also, even V deletes the illusions when you use this ability, like this one, Soul Impact. Also, we have Soul Impact at home. I haven't even noticed the name. Also, super underwhelming boss fight. Like, bro didn't even get to the halfway point of the map. Man, just super underwhelming. Imagine if you could buy heroes using gems, like who even uses gems. Yeah, I think that maybe only whales who are like, okay, I just want to spam 1,000 juggernauts or 1,000 ward blackburns just to get that adrenaline rush. Like, you know, maybe some sort of 10 or 11-year-old kid who just likes to see things happening on the screen. You also have, oh, okay, I don't have the shop to show it right now, but I mean, I have unlimited gems for mobile, so I can do various interesting things since, yeah. Also, what stage should we play now? Like, I don't know, maybe I'll play one more, give my final thoughts about the game, and then I'll end the stream. Like, it's been already 2 hours of me from the start of the recording, already feeling tired. Might wanna take a rest. Okay, I guess I'll play... it's a cool boss battle. So just play this stage one more time. Give a shot to all the towers. Like, at the end of the day, we are here to check out the mod, so let's do this. I told you Original Kingdom Rush had the most content. I don't know, I feel like Vengeance had the most, like you have so many different campaigns to check out, and there are like around 40 or 50 levels. I don't know, I lost track at this point. There are so many that, you know, it got insane for Vengeance, and we're getting yet another 5 levels in December or early next year, and that's just crazy.
Cleanse the land.
Okay, I don't like actually this spot. I'll just get the Flame Spitter, yeah. Also, yeah, Barracks seems to be the best one for me here. Also, Grim Raid's my favorite tower for this spot. I just max them out whenever you can. They'll get the job done.
The void stares back.
And let's invest some. Okay, we can start.
I smell foul magic.
My idea is to make this mode more challenging. I'm currently making the Turkish language mode. I will make the levels harder in the future. For which game is it again? out of curiosity? Like, I would like to know.
Easy meat, boys.
Also, shout out to all the Turkish people who watch me. They consist of 5% of my total viewer base. So, hey guys, I assume some of you might be from Turkey. Shout out to all of you. I think Lost Empire is the best level in Vengeance. I don't know. Definitely one of the best ones. But we also have the Grand Arena and the Malik boss fight. Like, Malik was the first boss that introduces removing tower spots. It was definitely funny seeing it for the first time.
Rising.
I mean, the Overseer wasn't that special. Actually, one of the biggest letdowns for the Overseer, I think he should delete your tower spots more aggressively, and it should be, like, let's say, more engaging fight, since you will be fighting against the clock. Strings arena good too. Yeah, of course. It would be great to add Revengeance Towers to Tier 5. Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually not that familiar with the Revengeance Tower balancing and so on, but I can definitely see it being a cool factor. Vengeance only has two good mini campaigns. Yeah, Hammerhold is the one, and the other one, like, who do you even consider to be the other good campaign? I don't even know at this point. Primal Ravage is very hard, is it? Is it really hard? Like, you have so many busted towers and heroes, or even just the lead harasser spam will get you the job done. I didn't find Primal Ravage hard. Also, the boss is one of the biggest jokes of all time. I've heard that he has a lot of interesting abilities, but the thing is that most of us don't even know that they exist, purely because he dies so quickly that we never get the chance to see them in action, you know, which is another L. Like, why bother make abilities for a boss if they never get the chance to be used? Also, can you, like, deal with one glaring... Look at this. Some people say that this is not the worst tower in the game. Tell me, it couldn't even stop a single glaring. And it was basically shooting head... I don't even know, ghosts. Yeah, ghosts. We will have ghosts in October for a while, just a heads up, so I guess then 3 cannon will be useful. Finally, a use case for 3 cannon. Kersbergen is such a bad mini campaign, it reminds me of Robotstar Defense Simulator, it is discard multiple paths. I don't know, I think Bergen was actually one of the better campaigns in Vengeance, at least me personally. I liked it. The Ancient Ghosts fight is interesting, like, it has its gimmick. It could be interesting. Also, what is it, like, the second stage of the Kurzbergen? I think it's one of my favorites for Vengeance. It's even better than the Ancient Ghost boss fight. I don't know. Some people say that it's super annoying level. It's actually challenging, and which is why I find it to be on the upper scale. Also, let's get this final nail ability. A lot of people say that it should be decent for these fellas. It seems to get the job done, but so would the Royal Archers with the triple arrow. So I don't know. When will I do the next live stream? Well, this one was just to showcase the All Towers mod, since nobody has done it yet, and well, I would gladly take the chance to be the first one to do so. Also, guys, I hope that you enjoyed watching all the different towers in action, since a lot of comments have said that being limited to only 5 towers is, like, stupid. So right now we are limited to 14, not to 5. So I hope it is engaging. We will do more of this mod showcase after it gets patched, since for those of you who do not know or joined this web stream rather late, Eldritch Channeler does not work for this mod yet, it's bugged. Like, we can place it down, I will do it just for showcasing purposes, like we have the Eldritch Channeler. It's a decoration. Like, he will just decorate the stage. Okay, so you can see that's me, the one who is talking right now. Refer to this guy when I speak. Right, got it? Great. And a lot of the voice lines are also not working right now, so I hope that they'll get patched soon, as well as the other sound effects, and it will make the mod super fun to play around with. Also, please, Blinkers, can you stop? Like, it's getting annoying at this point.
Might die even. We live and die at our post.
Okay, archers, please save me. I mean, but I don't like the campaign, almost no new enemies. Actually, every single Halloween campaign in the Kingdom Rush games, all of them reuse the same enemies. Like we have ghosts, like wolverines, yeah, wolverines, and like the wolverines, they exist in all four games. Like that's the single most reused enemy out of all of them, which is just stupid. And if I see another Wolverine in Alliance, I don't know what to say anymore. It would be a letdown.
Father, guide my steps.
Also, like, come on, I walked you with Tanya. Why do you have to do this to me? Void levels are nasty, like really nasty to complete. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. I mean, Alliance is easily the hardest main campaign to complete out of all the games. Like, some people will say that Umbra is harder, which, again, I have nothing against that. Umbra is a hard boss after all, if you do not know what you're doing. So, I agree with that viewpoint, but then again, we have this stupid eye, which just completely makes all the stages in the final act of this campaign a pure nightmare. Also, let's try to max out this 3 cannon. This thing, it says that it deals true damage, and this guy, he has high armor, so in theory, it should perform well. Well, we'll see about that.
Don't fear the unknown.
Also, can someone stop the evolving scourges? Thanks. Curse bargain is so full, the enemies are so fucking slow, its difficulty is just very high, defense ancient ghost gimmick is the only redeeming quality, and even then they are only decent by the... I don't know, man. I think that the wolves, like the one which deal true damage, they're relatively fast, they can get right past your defenses if you are not careful or if you're not paying attention. Also, wyches or leeches, however you call them, they are one of the most annoying enemies in Vengeance as a whole, because they can create a whole army of skeletons. Like, they're basically the Necromancer variant in Kingdom Rush 1. And you have to engage with them immediately, otherwise things will get bad for you. Yeah, the bosses in Vengeance, definitely one of the worst ones in the game. We have the Ice Queen, Pollux, also the T-Rex, yeah, T-Rex in Primal Ravage, another underwhelming boss. Like the only good bosses in Vengeance, like were the Paragon, the Demon's boss fight, and the ones in Hammerhold, apart from, of course, Mirage. Yeah, Mirage. Mirage was a letdown. Her movement speed was non-existent. She's a fast hero in Frontiers, isn't she? So why should she be that slow? I don't know, I have no clue. Also, is the emissary broken, or is it just me? I don't know. Werewolves are the only decent enemy in Kurzberg, and even then they feel so out of place without Vulcans. I don't know. We have werewolves, we have the ghost wolves, like how do you even call them? I forgot their name. They pair well with each other. At least they have this going on for them. Umbra is the hardest campaign, or even the least stage boss, but Alliance easily has the hardest campaign. Yeah, I agree with this. Apart from the fact that I think that the Overseer boss battle is could be stated to be harder than Umbra. At least in my rankings, the Overseer boss fight is definitely the number one hardest boss fight in the series. I guess they'll do some balancing. Well, we'll see. There's a lot of time until October, and beta testers have already gave Ironhide a lot of feedback. It's just that they they can easily implement it. They just have to be willing to do so.
Behold the unending.
I'm terrified on how hard the Alliance mini campaigns will be. I don't know. I feel like that nothing can top of the difficulty of the main campaign.
Sky's not
I
my
feel like a lot of people will be let down by the difficulty of the post campaigns, since I expect them to be easier than the main campaign. Like, am I the only one who thinks that the post campaigns will be easier than the main campaign, or that's just me? At least I find it logical. And we also will have Bone Heart, which will break the game, probably,
Red
I would
moon's
assume.
rising.
At least Mirage's difficulty is supposed to equal to her viability in Frontiers. Yeah, I guess. At least that checks out.
Guide my steps.
As bad as Frontiers as she is in Vengeance. Hey, at least she isn't like the that meme when you fight the boss and when you unlock him as a playable character. At least Mirage manages to fail in both regards. So let's say that she just actively tries to avoid getting memed on, but still gets memed on by being pure trash. So yeah, still bad for her. On the bright side, we finally have a good challenge. Yeah. I mean, I'm personally enjoying the difficulty of Alliance. Like, on this stream alone, I attempted some heroics and irons. I couldn't beat them.
Behold the
I mean,
unending.
yeah, I'm just playing around, trying some sort of different strategies, trying to get a grasp of the whole old tower aspect. Also, I think we need another new tower in our arsenal. Like, we can go for maybe a demon pit here, might not be a bad idea. Also, can someone please stop the evolving scourges before they get out of hand? Thank you. Also, Anya fighting the air right now. Look at this. Like, he cannot die. What is this? Anya cannot die. The behemoth cannot die. Also, we have these guys. Ah, beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so this will be a guide on how to deal with the flying thingies. Well, for starters, you cannot until the glaring of the Overseer stops. After that, we just max out the Eldritch Channeler, like so. And we just let the Eldritch Channeler go to work. Like you see this? That's the best tower in the game right now. At least some people say it is. I don't know what they're really looking at, but yeah. It's a fun tower, I'll give them that. Probably I think the Overseer boss fight is mid. I don't know. I feel like the boss fight was definitely well executed. It was interesting as a concept, like Ironhide loved to be experimental. And when I was like given early access for the game and got to the final level, the first thing I looked was top left to see how many waves there are, and I saw just one wave, like 0 out of 1. I was like, okay, we have 0 waves to work with. So what's the deal here? I think the concept was really unique, to be honest.
Don't fear
Like,
the unknown.
the fight can act as an endless mode. Like a lot of people say, when is going endless mode to be in Alliance? Bro, you can basically just play the Overseer boss fight, don't kill the Overseer. At some point he will erase all of your tower spots, but that's what Endless is made for. Like, the game should be harder the further you go, and I think that the Overseer boss fight manages to do that quite nicely.
Smell foul magic.
So yeah, if you are looking for endless mode, you have endless mode at home, so please stop crying about it. I mean, I'm not saying that to you guys, I'm just explaining, like, for the most part, at least that's all the comments that I see, so yeah. Boneheart will return. I thought the dragon died in one of the last levels in Vengeance. No, we actually revived him in Vengeance like it was stage 9 or 10, I don't even know. I haven't played Vengeance in so long. But like in one of these stages we get all of his remains, like we assemble them, just like we did with Blackburn. Like how do you think Blackburn returned in the Ancient Ghosts level? We basically gathered all of his remains, and that's how we brought him back. The same goes for Boneheart. I just hope the mini campaigns in OS are fun and unique, with its difficulty around equal to the area. Well, I am not really looking forward to the first campaign of Alliance. They will be making it have some sort of Halloween aspect to it, and I would assume that there might be a chance in which they will reduce some of the Origins enemies, like the ones that are fought in the Godiet area. Well, my hope is that they are not gonna reuse them, otherwise I will be pissed. I love Rising Tides because of its gimmick. Yeah, absolutely. Rising Tides has so many interesting things going on for him. You have the special tower, like the Regnos, you have all the water, which makes some of your heroes unable to move to certain parts of the map. You have a lot of different unique enemies with various resistances. It's definitely a cool campaign, one of the best ones easily in the franchise as a whole. I don't really have a lot of negative things to say about it. Yeah, assassins do make it quite easy, but at the end of the day, how many people do you think know about the assassin cheese? And they aren't a whole lot, if I have to be honest. I haven't used Blazing Gem in Kingdom Rush once. Do you think it's worth it? Absolutely, yeah. Like, it's a homemade Blazing Gem, but it gets the job done. At least for me, it's the fourth best tower in the game. The top of 8 tier. It's not quite S tier, but it has its niche. It's the best tower in its niche. And you basically have to always max out the disability. If you want to make the tower work, you always have to go for power overflow at tier 3. I mean, the cheap, like the high sorcerer homemade spell, it's also a nice one to have, since it's one of the best ways to deal with the evolving scourges when they reach their final form. It's definitely a cool tower, and it's in my profile picture, so I might be a little bit biased, but I'm telling you, I'm trying to be as less biased as possible. I mean, the Elder Channel is a good tower, and it's a free one at that, which actually, fun fact. Eldritch Channeler used to not be a free tower. Like it should have been a premium tower, which should have been around the same cost as the Grim Raids, but they decided to make it a free one. I think that Battle Brewmasters were supposed, or either the Battle Brewmasters or the Elven Stargazer was supposed to be a free tower, but they reversed them with the Eldritch Channeler. I didn't know Overseer can raise towers. I defeated him so quickly that he only switched their places. Yeah, absolutely. Defeating him on a speedrunning fashion definitely kills the joy of the fight. Like, you are supposed to be stuck on this stage for around 8 to 10 minutes, and it gets really interesting when you are in for the wonk run. But yeah, I can see that. Oh, hey, Dark Lake, good to see you here, my man. Just trying out the old towers mode by KM5, which I don't even know how he managed to complete so quickly. Will Malagar come back? I didn't see him in this game. Well, Malagar deserves his own game, if I have to be honest. Like we see Veznan taking control of the crystal of Eleni, but guess who also wanted the crystal in Kingdom Rush Frontiers? Well, Maogar was the one who stole it, so imagine if in Kingdom Rush 6 Rebellions, Maogar just comes back and steals the crystal from Veznan. Like, wouldn't that be a plot twist? Like, I can see that happening. Anya sounds so pissed when she dies if that happens, unlike the other heroes who either sound defeat or on anger screen. Yeah, absolutely. Chain ability is way too good. I think that Chainware's split chain ability might be the best tower ability in the game. So yeah, I mean we can probably give a quick analysis like this ability, busted F tier. We have this one. This one, I don't know how I feel about it. Like when I go for Paladins, I usually go for it since, okay, it's a 20% attack damage boost, but actually the purple Paladin, he gets extra armor, hit points, and he's basically 50% more durable than the regular Paladins. Also, this ability, you should most of the times go for it. It makes your Paladins unkillable. This tower, I cannot give opinions. It's so expensive. It's not worth going for either of these two abilities. This one, at tier 1, it seems to be good. Tier 2 and 3 is redundant. You don't need the extra damage. You just get it for the stun factor. This tower ability, I still need more testing for it. I mean, okay, it slows enemies for 6 seconds. It also deals an okay damage, but it's physical. It's not magical. Magical is preferred to have. We have the Arborean Emissary with both great support abilities. The Pixies have great synergies with Paladins, Grim Race, Heroes, etc. We have the Rat of the Forest. I mean, you know Rat of the Forest. We have this one. Definitely one of the things that makes Demon Pit good. This, I don't know how I feel about it. I never go for it. We have this guy, which is a cheap copy of Big Boss, but he's 10 times worse. Eldritch triple hits can hit the 3 parts from Overseer. Yeah, Overseer has 3 hitboxes and the Eldritch Channeler can hit all 3 of them, and he is by far the highest DPS that you can have for the Overseer. I think I have a video of me showcasing how I beat the Overseer in like 2 minutes and 20 seconds, so if you haven't checked it out, you can feel free to do so. I also saw some Chinese random guy beat the Overseer in 2 minutes using the same strategy that I employed, so yeah, goes to show that I am the best tower in the game, like you know this. If you don't, well, that's bad for you. We have Necromancer, this ability, one of the worst in the game. Like, I don't know its use case, I never go for it, even though it's hella cheap, not worth it. This ability, it's the reason why Necro is even viable. We have the Stargazer, this is fighting to be one of the worst abilities in the whole franchise. Have to be honest. Pure RNG, fast, not worth, don't go for it. Gazers, I like the Gazers, definitely a good ability, can target flying enemies. This, I don't know how I feel about it, it can clear the Glarings, but seen better. We have Dune Sentinels with this ability, which has a good AoE damage, yeah, it's alright. This one, I don't know how I feel about it. Any target killed by the blade yields 4 bonus gold. No, not a fan of it. It's virtually nothing. Like, why even bother? Rocket Gunners, originally, I always used to go for the phosphoric coating, since getting the area damage is okay. I guess the armor reduction is, it's alright. This, never go for it. I personally never found any use cases of it. Elder Channeler, you already discussed, the best ability in the game. This one is also alright, it's only 200 gold. But you have to, like, constantly be on the lookout for the ship, since, you know, you can just click it 3 times, it will die. We have Grimraid's this ability, one of the worst ones in the games. Like, bro, what is this? 60 true damage, reducing its speed and halving its attack damage. If it was permanent, I would consider going for it, but it's not permanent, it's just temporary. Wow, this is where the money is at. That's a good ability. Originally, I thought that it was useless, since you don't need to invest into Grim Raids more than the 4th tier, but no, it's actually the main reason why Grim Raids can solve spawners and like other enemies. Okay, I think we discussed all the towers. That's basically what I had to say. So you took a sneak peek into my tier list. My thoughts will be mostly the same in it as well. Well, I think that this should be it for this live stream. We checked the mod pretty well, I would say. Once again, shout out to KM5 for creating the mod. Huge thanks goes to him. So if there are any questions in the chat, let me know. I'll be answering them and then I'll be ending the stream shortly. Okay, Battle Brew Masters only used to one to initiate stubble. Yeah, I guess I can see that. I can see that. Flame Splitter can attack flank enemies, but it can't target them. Max Flame Splitter is the way to go for me. I usually go for the Gazers on the Flame Splitter. The Fireball is okay, but I don't find myself getting it often. It could work when fighting Guardians, but you'll have to kill around 62 for the turn. Yeah, yeah. Like, it's too much. It's too much. There's just better ways for you to invest your money. Almost every tower in Alliance have a stroke and stretch ability. Yeah, abilities in Alliance are strange. Like, half of them are F tier, others are broken. The balance is off the hook, to be honest. If Battle Brewmaster debuff works on bosses, does it not? I don't know. That's a thing that I will have to check out then. Who is better for you, Agex, Warhead, or Therian? I originally had Warhead as bottom 3 hero, and I still think that he is one of the weaker ones, so I will definitely go with Therian. I think that the teleport factor, as well as the rifts are broken. The hero spell, 270 damage, is quite a lot. It cannot target flank enemies, but it's still a great hero spell. This one, it's also good, but it's only 160, and the other abilities are underwhelming, if I have to be honest, apart from, which is it? This one. Yeah, this one. Maybe. Yeah, smoke screen. Yeah, this one is okay. So yeah, Therian, slightly better than Warhead. That's my general opinion. HSB stage 4 on impossible without hours. Yeah, good for you, good for you. I guess the challenge might be possible then. We'll see if someone can even manage to get stage 6, since stage 5 is way harder than stage 4, but you know. Grimson is worse than both, yeah, absolutely. Grimson is definitely one of the worst heroes in the game. I don't know, maybe third or second. Like, you have this guy, like, it's clearly how bad he is. If every single hero I have clicked on, but well, he's still new, and I don't plan to change that anytime soon. So yeah, you can, I guess, confidently say which hero is the worst one. But yeah, I won't be getting into too much details about heroes right now. I will make a tier list for that in the future. You'll get into the details, and then after that I would like to see you guys' opinions once again. So yeah, Doris is a mage tier. I'm dying this hill. Mirage, yeah, Mirage tier, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Though I think that Mirage is way better than Taurus. I'll say every hero has its use cases except Taurus, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But like, whoever thinks that Taurus is a good hero, well, he's on drugs, let's say that. Grimson is the best tank for me. Like, you know, the thing about Grimson, like, you have this ability, when below 25% health, Grimson transforms into yada yada. This ability, it triggers way too late. Like, by the time he has transformed, he has already been killed, so this ability is basically non-existent. So yeah, Anya exists, she's way better. Even Torres, Warhead, they're better tanks than Grimson. He just dies way too easily, he doesn't have a lot of hit points. Like, you can... actually, why does Warhead... I don't know. This stats here, super misleading. Like, what is this? Anya has 40% hit points? And then we have Womanir with all of this? Like, bro, nah, I don't even wanna comment on that. So I guess that was it from me then. Any final questions? Okay, Grimson is fun though, so I don't mind him. Yeah, so do I. I like the mobility. Ragin best tank. Well, Ragin does make spawners quite easy to deal with. Only good Grimson ability is the spikes. Yeah, his hero spell is nice, but Therian's one is better. And Therian is overall better than Grimson in almost every aspect apart from tanking. Ragin is really good, but she is slow. Yeah, Ragin also suffers from the same things as Torres, but at least if you place her on one of the front parts of the levels, she can deal with spawners, so at least you have this going on for him. Apart from Torres, who will engage in combat, then start to build a tower, and well, that's it, you're screwed. He will switch his target, the spawner will start spawning his lesser ice, and you know, that's a domino effect that you have to worry about just because your stupid hero decided to use one of his abilities. So if you decide to leave it unupgraded, well, I wouldn't tell you anything against that. Thank you. You too, guys. Thanks everyone for stopping by. Really appreciate you coming to chat about the game. I hope the stream was enjoyable. We'll be doing more in the future, but I will be busy these couple of days, so yeah, don't expect a whole lot out of me. Yeah, Nairo and Therian, definitely one of the cooler ones to have. Okay, so that's it from me for today. Thanks everyone for stopping by. Hope to see you guys next time. For now, good day, evening, night, depends where you are on the world. I hope to catch you guys next time. Alex Plays out.